Today, we're talking about morning stiffness, the kind that makes your body feel rusty when you first wake up. If your mornings start with stiff hands and feet that just won't move the way you want, stay with me and hit subscribe so you don't miss any pain-free Golden Years lessons. If your hands feel like they belong to someone else for the first few minutes of the day, this episode is for you. Maybe your first steps to the bathroom are stiff, achy, and careful instead of easy and smooth. Morning stiffness can be frustrating and even frightening, but understanding it is the first step toward feeling more in control. We'll walk through a real story, use models to look inside your joints, and talk about questions you can bring to your healthcare provider. By the end of this episode, I hope your rusty morning body feels a little less mysterious and a little less scary. You deserve to understand why your day starts stiff and what might help loosen things up safely. Let me introduce you to a woman named Carol from Ohio, whose mornings might sound a lot like yours.
Carol is 72, and every morning she feels like her hands and feet have turned to wood overnight.
Her fingers won't bend easily at first. She has to coax them into motion. She describes her joints as tight, thick, and stubborn when she first wakes. Her hands, wrists, ankles, and toes are the worst. They feel like they're wrapped in invisible tape. The first steps to the bathroom are stiff and slow, with her knees and ankles complaining. Carol sometimes wonders, is this just getting older, or is something else going on? Maybe you've asked yourself that same question while you hold onto the wall in the morning. Let's look at what's inside a stiff joint when you first wake up. Your joints have cartilage, fluid, and a lining that all interact as you move and rest. During the day, movement helps keep that joint fluid circulating, like gently stirring a pot. At night, your joints aren't moving as much, so the way they feel in the morning can change. For some people, changes in the joint lining or the immune system can make joints stiffer after resting. In some kinds of arthritis, stiffness can be especially strong in the morning and slowly ease as you move. In other situations, stiffness might be more about muscles being tight after certain sleeping positions. The key is that morning stiffness has many possible contributors, and only your healthcare provider can sort out which ones apply to you. One helpful step is noticing patterns and sharing them at your appointments. How long does your morning stiffness last? 5 minutes? 30 minutes? An hour or more? Is it mainly hands and fingers, or also knees, hips, feet, or spine? What makes it ease up? Warm water, gentle movement, time, or medicine your provider recommended? Writing down a few notes over several mornings can give your provider a clear picture. You don't have to be perfect, just a quick, honest snapshot of your mornings. Carol noticed that her stiffness was worst when she first woke and eased within about 45 minutes of gentle moving.
She started waking up a little earlier to gently move her hands before standing.
Simple open and close hand movements within comfort helped her hands feel less frozen. Small ankle circles and toe wiggles helped her first steps feel a bit less shocking. Any movement for you should be discussed with your provider, especially if you have balance or heart issues. The idea is not to force stiff joints, but to gently invite them to wake up. Some people notice that warmth helps ease their morning stiffness. Warm water, a warm shower, or a gentle warm pack used safely as your provider recommends can sometimes relax stiff tissues. It's important to avoid burns and to follow your provider's guidance, especially if you have reduced sensation.
Sleeping twisted with joints tightly bent all night left her feeling even stiffer. With help, she experimented with positions that gave her joints support without locking them into extremes.
Your ideal sleeping position may be different, which is why it's helpful to talk with your provider or therapist if you can.
After getting out of bed, Carol added a few simple stretches, staying within what felt safe for her body.
These weren't intense workouts. They were small invitations to move. Morning stiffness that affects many joints and lasts a long time can mean something different than stiffness in just one or two joints. That's one of the reasons it's important to share the full story with your provider. They may consider different types of arthritis, other joint conditions, or even muscle and tendon issues. Only your healthcare provider can decide which tests or referrals, if any, are right for you. We should also mention warning signs that need prompt attention. If your joints are suddenly extremely painful, hot, and red, or you have fever and feel very sick, seek medical care right away. That can be different from familiar stiffness that gradually eases with movement. Trust your instincts when something feels very different or very wrong. Carol's stiffness was strongest in the morning and eased as she kept moving through the day. By midday, her joints felt more like themselves, even though she still had some aches. Your pattern may be different, and that's okay. The key is noticing and sharing it. Some people find that gentle movement soon after waking helps more than staying frozen in one position. Others need a slower start, especially if balance is an issue. Safety always comes first. Taking your time getting up, using support, and letting your joints warm up can reduce the risk of falls. If you feel lightheaded, very weak, or unsteady, sit back down and talk with your provider about it. What you eat over months and years can also affect how your joints feel, including stiffness. Carol and her provider talked about patterns that might support her joints overall. Nutrition is personal and often complex, and this is another area where professional guidance can be helpful. Morning stiffness doesn't live alone. It's connected to how much or how little we move throughout the day. Finding a balance between rest and movement can support your joints, muscles, and stiffness patterns. Carol began taking short walks later in the day, which helped her joints feel less shocked the next morning. Her steps weren't perfect or fast. They were simply more consistent. For you, that something might be a short hallway walk, a few chair exercises, or another safe activity approved by your provider. Morning stiffness can show up in many conditions, from common wear and tear changes to immune-related arthritis and more. You don't need to sort out all the names on your own. That's your provider's job. Your job is to notice, describe, and ask honest questions about what your mornings are like. If your body is stiff in the morning, that doesn't mean you're lazy or weak. It means your joints and tissues are carrying a story that deserves to be heard. You are allowed to ask for help and explanations, not just push through in silence. Let's gather the big ideas from this episode. First, morning stiffness that makes hands and feet hard to move is a common experience for many older adults. Second, how long stiffness lasts, where it shows up, and what helps are important clues. Third, small changes, gentle movement, safe warmth, and better sleep setup can sometimes make mornings a bit kinder. These ideas don't replace medical care. They can sit alongside it. Carol didn't wake up one day with perfect joints, but she did feel less shocked and afraid over time. Your progress may be slow and uneven, and that's still progress. If your mornings feel like the hardest part of the day, please talk with your healthcare provider about it. Ask them what they think might be behind your stiffness and what steps they recommend for you. Ask which movements or stretches are safe and which you should avoid. It's okay to bring written questions so you don't forget what you wanted to ask. Pain-Free Golden Years is here to give calm, clear teaching, not quick fixes or scare tactics. Every model in this studio is here to help your body make more sense. If this episode gave you even one new idea about your stiff mornings, that matters. You took time to care about your own comfort and independence today. If you found this helpful, please tap the like button so more people with stiff morning joints can find this video. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications to stay connected with Pain-Free Golden Years. You can also explore episodes on knee pain, hip pain, bone strength, and nerve issues to support your whole body. Together, we'll keep building a clearer picture of what your joints are trying to say. In the comments, I'd love to know, how long does your morning stiffness usually last? And which joints feel the most stubborn? Hands, knees, hips, or feet? Share only what feels comfortable. Your experiences help shape future episodes. You don't have to pretend your mornings are easy if they aren't. Being honest about stiffness is a way of honoring what your body is going through. You are not lazy for needing a slower start. You're a person with joints that have carried you through decades of work and care. It's understandable that they might need extra attention now. Your hands have cooked, cleaned, held loved ones, and done countless tasks. Your feet have carried you through miles of life, and you may not even remember. Morning stiffness is not a moral failing. It's information. You get to decide what you do with that information, one step at a time. Maybe your next step is simply keeping a stiffness journal for a week. Maybe it's bringing that journal to your next appointment and asking, what do you see in this pattern? Maybe it's trying a gentle, provider-approved morning routine to wake up your joints. Your mornings don't have to be perfect to be meaningful. Even if stiffness never disappears completely, it may become more understandable and more manageable. Understanding can soften fear, even before stiffness fully changes. When you're ready, you can keep learning with the next Pain-Free Golden Years episodes. Each one is designed to be calm, clear, and practical. You deserve information that respects you and your time. You also deserve providers who listen when you say, "My mornings are hard." Please don't minimize your stiffness just because it's only in the morning. Those first hours shape how safe and confident you feel for the rest of the day. You're allowed to ask for help simply because you're tired of feeling stuck when you wake up. That's not complaining, that's courage. If this episode brought you comfort or clarity, please like this video. Subscribe so you can keep walking with Pain-Free Golden Years, one gentle step at a time. You might also find our episodes on hip pain, leg weakness, or bone strength helpful. You don't have to watch them all today. Take it at your own pace.
Your body has been keeping you alive and moving for a long time. Even if its way of asking for help is stiffness, you're still on the same team. You can choose to respond with curiosity instead of just frustration. That shift alone can change how mornings feel emotionally, even before they change physically. If tomorrow morning is stiff again, remember what you learned today. You can greet that stiffness with a little more understanding and a little less blame. You are not alone in this. Many people around the world are quietly stretching out stiff joints at sunrise. Being part of this pain-free golden years community means you don't have to pretend it's easy. Your comment might be the one that makes someone else say, "Oh, it's not just me." That kind of connection can soften the edge of difficult mornings. Thank you for sharing this time with me and for caring enough to learn about your body. Thank you for not giving up on your joints, even when they feel stubborn. I hope your next wake up feels just a little more supported than the last. And if it doesn't, this episode will still be here to revisit. Before we close, remember you can like, subscribe, and share this with someone whose mornings are tough. You never know whose day or whose first steps you might make easier. Your stiffness is real, your effort is real, and your hope is real. Those are powerful ingredients for change. Keep learning, keep asking, keep listening to both your body and good medical advice. Step by step, you can move toward mornings that feel safer and a little more free. Even if stiffness never disappears, your understanding and toolkit can keep growing. That growth matters, and it belongs to you. This channel will keep showing up with calm guidance as you navigate your golden years. You are worth the effort it takes to care for your stiff joints. I'm grateful you chose to spend these minutes with me and Pain-Free Golden Years. This is Evelynn from Pain-Free Golden Years, wishing you kinder mornings, smoother first steps, and many more comfortable days ahead.